Hey guys, how's it going? The video this week is going to be on is Rank 2.0 Champion actually fixed? As I discussed in my last video, which I'll link in a card on Champion and stuff like that, there were over around 50,000 champions, not including duplicates. So there were probably quite a bit more, probably closer to maybe 60,000, 70,000, just estimating, last season. Before we hop into it, who am I? I'm KingGeorge. If you haven't seen the videos before, I'm an ex-professional player. I won the first Rainbow Six Invitational, which is the biggest tournament in Siege, but now I stream every day on Twitch. Do the whole YouTube thing and stuff. I have a second YouTube channel if you want more content with full daily games. And all my social sponsors and all that good stuff are in the description. Also, if you can, leave a like, comment. I respond to every single comment. I love having these discussions and stuff in the comments with you guys. It's always a lot of fun. So if you have any comments, any thoughts, solutions possibly, feel free to leave them below. But, okay, let's get down to the actual numbers. So there are this season. So this time, roughly last season, there were around 50,000 champions, give or take. This season, this is on all platforms, by the way, Xbox, PlayStation, PC, there are 13,357 champs. Well, that's the number of champs. There's actually a little bit more, and it's kind of complicated, and I'll kind of get into that. So when somebody has the same amount of elo as another person, it actually duplicates the number. So let's say you're champion 13,357. Well, if you have 4,500 elo, which is the bare minimum to hit champion, let's say you were at 4,510 elo, you lost a game, and then you got rank protection at 4,500. So there's actually, give or take, about 1,600 people that are at 4,500 elo. So probably with duplicates, you're looking at at the 4,500 number. That's going to be the heavy number. That puts you at close to 15,000 champions, right? Plus there's probably, I don't know, maybe another couple thousand in there maximum, another 1,000, 2,000. So still maybe say 16,000 champions, which is not too bad considering last season there was probably, 60, 70,000 champions at this time. So it is a little bit harder to get. What did Ubisoft actually change this season to make that have a difference, I guess? If you haven't played, ranked, or you're not high enough of a ranking where you're normally in champion and stuff like that, basically what happens is you get a ton of elo up until Emerald. I think you get 122 elo per game. Then it starts to drop off in Emerald, slowly, not too bad. But it starts to drop off a little bit in Emerald and stuff like that, to where when you're Emerald 1 going to Diamond, I think it is, you're going from getting 122 and Emerald 5 or whatever it is, or over 100, to now getting 40. And then when you're in Diamond, you're still gaining 40, but you still lose 8, so it's still not super hard when you're in low Diamond. The time that it starts evening up really is Diamond 3, Diamond 2, Diamond 1. At that time, you're kind of gaining, say, 15, 20 elo, losing 15, 20 elo, so it makes it a bit more of a grind to actually hit champion. Overall, I think the system's good. I think it was probably the quick fix on how to actually do this. It doesn't seem to me personally like it was this huge, meaningful, crazy change. It's not like they reworked the entire system or anything. They literally just made it so that it's, a heavier drop off, which I guess for a quick fix was good, because it's tough, right? I talk about it in the other video too, but when you make champion relatively easy to get, there's still a number within champion to compete with. So obviously there's a few things that happen here, right? Because there's so many champions, it does make people care less. Hence, the whole Rank 2.0 people caring less video, which I've made videos on the meta and stuff in the past, if you want to go back and browse those. But at the same time as well, too, you make it so that people are less incentivized to cheat and be scummy and stuff like that, because, well, it's pretty easy to hit champ and stuff like that. Overall, I do think that the new system's a little better. Obviously there's less champions, so that's things. So let's go over the good and the bad. So obviously there's less champs. That's a good thing. It makes champion more meaningful and more rewarding when you actually get there. People seem to still be having fun, and it doesn't seem like it's the ultra stress and almost ranked anxiety, as I would kind of call it, of ranked 1.0, where it was you're gaining 25 elo and losing 70 every single game, where it was just very annoying. At the higher elos though, now too, there's also a massive drop off as well. So if you haven't seen it before, I've kind of gone through this when my elo kind of ticked back up way past the 4,500 elo limit. Say you're at 46, 4,700 elo, you start to gain even before, you would just consistently be gaining a heavy amount of elo all the way through pretty much. Whereas now you kind of gain like in that like 4 elo range roughly, and you lose like 20, 25 elo and stuff like that when you start getting heavier up. I think the reason that they did this was to like basically, I don't know, it's weird. You're kind of punishing people for grinding and stuff like that. But I think is they didn't like seeing people having these like crazy high amounts of elo and stuff like that, I suppose. But it definitely seems like it's really hard to like overtake people on like the leaderboard if you're grinding ranked. It's not something I really do as much anymore. Just kind of play more for fun these days. But for people that do that, it does seem like it's kind of like a negative, in my opinion. And it disincentivizes like playing the game more because you're losing so much elo and gaining so little that people are like almost not wanting to play if they're super once they hit super high elo because like just kind of want to keep that spot on the leaderboard and not really think about it too much, right? There's also the problem of like something that's been a problem in Rank 2.0 in general. I feel like the fragging meta has gotten worse, and the people that I get as teammates have gotten worse, and I'll get into that. I'm not just blaming teammates for this. I've actually made some videos that are unreal and stuff on my second YouTube channel. It just seems like people don't really care when they're in ranked. Like, if I have a 5 stack, it's like we're pretty much just rolling everybody all night, right? It's super easy. If I have... it's always kind of been like this. Even in ranked 1.0, it was always kind of like a crapshoot when you what kind of teammates you were going to get. But I feel like it's even more so now. It is insane to me how many games I will generally try to play, more supportive operators, right? Because I want to win the game. Nobody ever plays support. I'll play Thermite, Ace, whatever it may be, Bandit, Thatcher, my Jaeger, whatever it may be. I'll play those operators, right? And I generally do a pretty good job of like getting my kills and stuff like that, unless there's a cheater. Right, but a lot of people just don't care. Like, there's the amount of games that I'll have where, like, no joke, we'll start on attack. I'll be playing Thermite the whole time, and I'll be like, I don't know. I'll get, like, nothing insane. But say I'll have, like, 5, 6 kills, three deaths maybe or something like that. And I'm on Thermite the whole time, and I pick, say, Bandit when we hit defense, right? Or I'll pick Wamai or something like that, which are still good operators to play and good fragging operators, even though they are support. And my entire team will pick, like, Warden, Oryx, Thorn, and, like, I don't know, just something else completely. Use Alibi. I mean, she's okay, but... I mean, the point is, like, these operators are not super useful. It's like, if you can't frag, at least take something that's a little bit supportive to help your team win the game. It's like, and then we just get, like, 4-0'd, right? It's like almost like they just give up, or people just want, like, the instant gratification because the elo system doesn't really mean as much, right? I mean, when you're only going to lose, like, a certain amount of elo, and you kind of know that, and the enemy team is just better, you're probably just going to run around and try to frag, and like, if you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. If not, you had maybe some fun, satisfying plays. I think that's kind of where people's like mental sort of goes. But at the same time, too, it does seem like people are having a lot more fun with it. So is it necessarily a bad thing? Because that's the goal of the game, right? I mean, it doesn't feel as rewarding to me when I just get teammates who are like completely clueless as someone who tries to take the game like, even though I'm still playing for fun, I'm still trying to win and trying to take it seriously, right? Like I want that win. That's what I want. I like having good team play and stuff like that. Old Siege, right? Maybe I'm just an old head for that one, but I do like the older meta. I mean, to be fair, the frag meta is not the worst meta we've ever had before. There's definitely been worse ones in the past. There's been shield metas and utility metas. There's been worse, but this is I would say a meta that's in a weird spot where that, like, it's a split group of people. I feel like a lot of old classic Siege players and stuff like that really dislike this meta, but not, like, horribly so, I guess, but they just don't overall dislike it. Some people very notably dislike it, like Macy, I know, is not a big fan of it and stuff like that. But at the same time, I just can't see it being worse than like past shield metas, for example, or utility meta and stuff like that. Those were worse in my opinion. But the weird thing is, like with those other metas, the shield meta was just like basically people who were, just annoying like losers pretty much were the only people who like actually enjoyed that meta. Whereas this time around, it actually seems like the majority of the player base actually does enjoy this fragging meta, which is kind of what makes it a hard balancing act from Ubisoft. But I don't know. I think we'll probably just have to kind of see how this plays out over the next few seasons and stuff like that. The meta does not seem to be getting better. People seem to be caring less and less, and I think it's definitely a concern for the long term of the game. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Remember again, check the description for Twitch channel. I stream every day. YouTube channel, second channel, full games daily. all the socials, post on there all the time, sponsors, stuff like that. And let me know what you guys think, right? I appreciate everybody that watches these videos all the way through this point. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll go through all the comments and stuff after the video. Really appreciate everyone who watches these. We'll be back to like normal schedule. And also as well too, I know a lot of people miss the actual highlights. If you've made it this far in the video and stuff like that, I am going to throw up some highlight videos and stuff again too coming in the future. So look forward to those, some rage videos, all that kind of classic good stuff that people like. So yeah. But anyway, I'll see you guys in next week's video. Maybe we'll have a highlight video in between there. But once again, like, sub, drop all your comments below. I'll make sure to try to respond to every single one of them. And I will see you guys in the next video.